Did you fuck a lot when you were at the Olympics in the villages?
Here's the thing. I really was concerned about like, where are all the condoms? Because I was open to fucking, okay? I was not closed off to it. And so I was like getting ready for bed and I get this like knock at the door. It's this doping agent. They need to take me to the medical tent.
At night when you're going to sleep?
You can be taken for these tests at any time. So I go and I'm in the medical tent and I see this tiny little basket and it's filled with, and it says in Korean, generic condom. This also like ruins the illusion for me because I did believe that it would be like Olympic rings and it would just be like these
Just
amazing
Olympic branded condoms.
Yes, because I saw that little basket and I undid my zipper, whole basket
Just
in.
dump it right in.
Yeah, and I gave them to all my friends as like a gift.
Welcome to another episode of Why Won't You Date Me, a podcast where me, Nicole Byer, was trying to figure out why I was so single, even though you could come on my shirt and tell me it's a button. My guest today is an Olympian, figure skater, television personality, and podcaster. You've seen him guest on RuPaul's Drag Race and win on Dancing with the Stars. He is the host of the new Podcast One show, Intrusive Thoughts. It's Adam Rippon!
Come on my shirt and tell me it's a button is my favorite family limerick. It goes back many generations in my family. Now I know that we share that.
I've been doing this podcast for a while and the beginning of it gets sillier and sillier. I wonder if I've repeated any, probably.
I don't think so. I think when you're using I come on my shirt, tell me it's a button, feels original.
Hey. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Adam, you were one of the first out Olympians, correct, in figure skating?
Yeah, well, I was the first out Olympian from the United States, like, ever in the Winter Games, which is crazy.
Really?
Yes, it's nuts. It's so crazy.
Not to be rude and like...
Not the first gay person, but
yes,
the first
but out. Figure skating
is pretty gay.
Kind of gay.
Yeah.
Right?
There's some definitely like gay aspects
glitter,
to it.
A lot of spandex, a lot of sequins.
Sewing.
A lot of hair gel.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
All the telltale signs of gay.
It is kind of interesting. And this was in, when was this?
2018.
2018, which is fucking wild. That's late. No offense.
Well, you know what it is? It's like, I feel like 2018, but like a little earlier than that is like the era of like the YouTube coming out video.
Oh yeah, where it's like, guys, I have something to tell you.
And you're sobbing in front of your parents but you're filming it like, and so that was like that era of like 2014, 2015. And in 2014, I was like, I tried to make the Olympics like 3 times. So like I was an alternate in 2010. I did not make it in 2014.
What's the process? How does one audition for the Olympics?
Well, so basically to make like a long story short, like there's they see how well you do at competitions for like the 2 years in the lead up to. And then in that season, because there's like a few competitions that you'll do in the lead up to the Olympics. And the Olympics will be like towards the end of the season. And so that season is like weighed the heavy, like it's the most important. And so how you do in that lead up, and then they take your like whole credential and like pedigree, and then they decide who is like best qualified to represent at the Olympics.
How do you get into the competitions before the Olympics?
Okay, so how it like all starts, and we could start today.
Yeah, if I wanted to go to the Olympics,
yes,
how would I go about that?
Okay, so
and say I'm like really gifted.
I've always thought that.
Hey, thank you.
So what you do is like there's like you have to take tests to like pass different levels. And so the highest level is senior, and then under senior is junior and novice, and then there's like more.
But how do I get to the test?
Okay, first we get into my car.
Okay.
And then what we would do if we were really going to do this, we'd get into my car and we'd drive to Burbank. Okay. And we're going to Pickwick Gardens.
Okay.
Any TV show that's ever had some sort of like skating scene films it at Pickwick Gardens.
Okay.
So like there's like some Parks and Rec like episode where they're like at the rink. It's at Pickwick Gardens.
Okay.
We're going there for proximity.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to teach you everything. And like you said, you're talented. You've got it all down. I'm teaching you everything.
Say you don't even have to teach me. I like know it. I'm like, Adam, take me to Pickwick. We go to Pickwick.
Yes.
I know how to do everything. And you're like, great. So how do we get into competition?
So then the next thing we're going to do is like, we're going to sign up to become a member of US Figure Skating. Okay. So we do that. And let's say I go, you're such a savant. I've got that covered, girl. Don't even worry about it. I'm signing you up.
Okay.
The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to we sign up for tests. So you're going to test your way up to the highest level. Okay. Then you're going to sign up for regionals.
Oh.
And you're going to compete in the Southwest Pacific region. And then you're going to win, obviously. So that means you'll make it to sectionals.
Okay.
Which is a combination of a bunch of regions from the Pacific coast. So like there's regions throughout the country, and then there's 3 sections: the Pacific coast, the Midwest, the Eastern coast. And so you're going to compete in that. Then you'll make it to the national championships. And then once you do the national championships, you'll win that, obviously.
Yes.
They've never seen anything like it. And so you'll win. Then they'll like qualify you to different international competitions. You'll win those easy.
And then that's how you get to, that's a lot of fucking steps.
Yeah, you can't just be like a savant and just like show up.
Yes.
You have to like, there is like a years-long process to like even being considered.
I did not know that. I wonder if my listeners knew that. I wonder if I brought them through that whole journey and they're like, you stupid bitch.
But it would
of course.
It would be different for like track and field, because track and field, I'm not 100% sure on how you would go about this, but like track and field is just based on like time. So you do different races to qualify for different meets to then qualify for different meets that eventually would qualify you for the Olympics. Yes.
Sports is so wild to me because I'm like, how do you start? How do you start sports?
Yeah.
But I guess you just go to a rink and then like
you figure it out.
Because I figure it out.
I didn't know anything. My mom didn't know anything. Like, and so that's like, you just get started and like slowly you like find a way. So like I'm from this like Scranton, Pennsylvania. And so when I started doing like more like local competitions, then my mom signed me up for like, I was so into it and I was begging my mom to like take me all the time. So she signed me up for like different camps in like bigger cities. And then I eventually met like a higher level coach in Philadelphia. And then that led me to like then really improving and then moving on to other like different coaches that eventually led me here to California.
What a fun journey that very few people have been on.
It's crazy. I think the more distance I have from it, the more like I appreciate it.
Do you still skate for fun?
Kind of. It's just, it's tough because like I enjoyed doing it and I loved it, but it wasn't something like it was my job. So like it's very weird to go into a space and be like, it's just for fun now. And I don't know, like, you don't know how to do it. Like I had a really weird like time trying to get back into the gym to just like stay in shape. Cause I was like, what do you like? What do you do
when
here?
You're not training a body to be a professional athlete?
Exactly. Like how do people go to the gym for 30 minutes? What do you do for 30 minutes?
How long did you go to the gym when you were training?
Hours.
Every day for hours?
I'd be on the ice for like 3 to 4 hours, and then I'd be in the gym an hour before I skated the first time. I'd skate another time in the afternoon, and I'd do another hour before, and then I'd do about an hour and a half or 2 hours after to do the real workout. Because these are all like fake workouts. They're all like therapy things and like yoga like things to get your body like warmed up and ready for when you go onto the ice. So it's like an hour of prep before you even do the work on the ice. Yeah, so it's like 8 hours of work. Like,
and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, that's so wild. But the job is body. Your job is body. Make body move. Make body twist and turn.
Yes.
Can you do a triple sow cow?
Yes. Yeah, and you know now because you're a savant.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Can you do, she's a black ice skater.
Surya Bonaly, the backflip?
Yes.
No.
Can you do one of those?
No. No, I think when she does the backflip, it's like gorgeous. But I personally don't believe in flipping backwards. I'm too scared of it. I
Fair.
think that as me, I have to stay like up and down.
Just up,
Yeah.
up, down. I get that.
It's
It
safest.
is a wild move, and
It's crazy.
it looks so scary.
Yeah. But she has a gymnastics background.
So when you introduce a move,
Uh-huh.
do you have to submit it? I have so many questions. We'll get to dating, but I have so many questions about sports because I don't know sports. So say you want to do a move that's not in the book, the book of skates. Do you have to submit it?
It's a very good book, by the way. You should read it, The Book of Skates. It's such a good read.
Do you submit it or do you just do it in a competition?
So it's different than like gymnastics, because like in gymnastics they'll find different ways to mount onto the pommel or whatever. I don't really know.
Sure.
But they get elements named after them.
Yeah.
Basically, if they're the first person to do, like if it's the same element but they do like an extra rotation, the same element that's named something else, like that extra rotation will then be named after the person who did it the next time, even though it's like the same thing.
Oh, interesting.
So like when Simone Biles has these like elements named after her, it's because she's added extra flips and twists to like basically at the core, the element is still the same. But in skating, we have like our list of jumps, and there's not any other variations that you can do. Like we have, when you have your skates, we have an outside and inside edge on the blade. Sure. So like inside would be the inside of your foot, the outside, the outside. You're following? Yes. We talked about this in Burbank.
Yes.
Yeah. So for instance, like there's a jump where you'd be like on your, if we rotate, let's say we rotate counterclockwise, which is the most like typical. There's already a jump that like you'd be on the left foot and tap in with the right one. There's already a jump where you'd be on the right foot, tap with the left one. There's already one where you just jump from the right. There's already one where you just jump from the left. And there's one where you jump forward. So there's no like variation to it. I have like a variation to a rotation position named after me. Only because like I was the first person to do it. And so they kind of like named these like little variations, and you don't submit them.
You just do it.
It just becomes like the shorthand for like what it's called.
But you just do it in a competition and they go, oh my God, that was wild.
Yes. Well, because I'm like adding a variation to like something that's already been done before. So like I'm still doing a triple Lutz, but instead of like I did it with my arms over my head, like both arms like this. And so then that became like a Rippon variation.
That's fun.
Isn't it?
Do you feel iconic at times? Do you wake up sometimes and you're like, there's people are out there learning my move?
Sometimes. I mean, I do like that there is some sort of like variation named after me. There's not many.
That's cool. Why is the backflip banned? She did that in competition, or it's not banned?
It's not anymore.
Oh, they unbanned it.
So it was in 1978.
Do you hate that I'm asking you only about figure skating?
No, I don't, because I don't mind talking about it because I think it's like fun.
I think it's really fun, and I don't think I've ever gone skating
until we leave
this studio and head on over to Burbank
Gardens. Yes. So okay, here's a little bit of like lore about Surya Bonaly. So the backflip was like first performed by like a Canadian in the late 70s. And immediately the International Skating Union banned the move. They said it was like too dangerous to be doing in competition because the fear is that like people are going to do this, they're going to break their neck.
And you'll get injured, and then it's a big to-do, and you got to call the ambulance.
Too many steps.
Too much.
And at the end of the day, it's figure skating. It's not gymnastics. Those are gymnastics elements, and like there's a huge part of it where it's like a performance, and like they want you to focus on like the quality of like the skating. And I think skating, as a little side note, I think skating is like really interesting because it's like where skill meets sport. Because like you can be in great shape, but like skating is not like riding a bike, where it's like if you don't keep the skill up, you're much worse.
You atrophy.
Absolutely.
It's like pole dancing. You could be very, very strong, but
If you don't
if you're not doing the flexible stuff, it's going to be harder for you to do.
Yes. So it's like you need to keep the skill up. So like even if you're like, you need to be on the ice for hours to have that feel, because it's not like walking. It's completely different. Like you're never up and down. You're always at an angle, and the body like forgets that feeling the more time you're like off. So Surya Bonaly from France.
Yes.
She's like so like avant-garde, and she's like bizarre, and she's also like dressed by like French fashion houses.
Oh, I love that.
Her story is like she was adopted, but she had a and her mother was like heavily involved in like her career. It's very like Syria and her like mother, Suzanne. So Suzanne and Syria. She had a coach who's like super heavily involved and made up all of these stories about her, that she was like from Africa. And
but she's not from Africa?
No, she's from literally like a French orphanage. Like she's from France.
Okay.
But he tried to like create this like more stories around her. So she is so charismatic and like can look into the camera, and like she's a fan favorite of everyone. But the way that she skates is like very choppy. Like she skates like, and it improved, but she's performing, but like it's not smooth. And she'll try like the hardest jumps, but they're not like fully all the way around. But she's trying all of this stuff. And so like she does very well, but there's always this point that she gets up to where it's like she, you know, gets second at the World Championships 3 times. And it becomes like so overwhelmingly frustrating to her, where like she's at a World Championships and she skates well. It's still messy. Like it's messy at its core, but she's still like going for everything, and she's entertaining, and she's doing great. But then another skater comes out and they do less, but it's all done. Like the spins are more fluid.
Less is more.
Yes. And this skater wins. So they go out to do the podium. It's 1994. This is also right after Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. So this is in the same like cycle. So they go out to do the podium. The winner comes out. Syria comes out, and she like refuses to get onto the podium. And she's shaking her head, no. And then the bronze medalist comes out, and she's still like hugging everybody, but she's like arms crossed, like, no. The president of the ISU, the International Skating Union, comes out to like congratulate and put the medals on everyone. And he like puts the medal on her and like shakes her hand and like kind of manhandles her up onto the podium. It's a little uncomfortable. And he puts the medal on the bronze medalist. And so then they start playing the national anthem of the winner, and she rips the medal off her neck and she holds it at her side. She's pissed. Suzanne is pissed. The Bonaly family is mad. And obviously everybody's booing now Surya, that because they're in Japan, and the woman that won was Japanese. So now they're booing her like poor sportsmanship. So she goes on after this to like then still continue to like compete and skate, and her performance quality only like improves, and she shines in these like exhibitions and these shows. So she goes to the Olympics in 1998, and all the while she's still in the mix to like win a medal. She's still in this like elite medal mix. So she goes to the Olympic Games, and in the short program she doesn't skate great. And she's kind of like out of the medals. You never know what's going to happen. So like in the free skate, she's like, I'm going to fight for it. I'm going to go for it. She starts skating, and she starts to make a few mistakes. So it's just like, it's not going great. And so she decides she's going to go, fuck it. Who fucking cares if I get like a deduction for doing the backflip? I want to get this audience like on their feet. So she does a backflip in this Olympic routine, because she already isn't going to get a medal. She doesn't give a fuck. She then finishes the routine, and she makes sure that she figures out where the judges are, and she finishes the whole program with her back to them. She bows to the audience in front of her, to the left, to the right, skates off, never bows to the judges, then goes on, she like retires, and she has this like fabulous professional career where she
like tours, right? She tours.
Oh my God. She becomes like one of the greatest professional skaters like of all time. Because she shines in like, she can do the aspect. Yes. Because she's like incredibly charismatic and like this incredible performer. But she's also insane. But it's also what makes her so cool and so fun.
I love that. I kind of like somebody who's like listen, fuck it. If I'm not doing what you people want me to do, the three of you or however many judges there are, I'll perform for the people.
Yeah. And so that's where her like iconic backflip comes, where she's felt like the judges didn't give a fuck about her anyway. And so she's like, I'm not going to give a fuck about you in the end. And she does that at the Olympics.
I like that. I think that's a lesson for everybody.
It is. Because
just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. And then she moved to Vegas eventually. So
that's a funny
the end
place
of that.
to move after doing figure skating. You're like, gotta be in the heat. Adam, real quick, we gotta take a break. Okay, let's talk about the key to good skin. For me, it's finding products with real, clean ingredients that actually feel good on your body. And the big surprise, seaweed. I'm so serious. Seaweed. OSEA's Undaria algae body oil is packed with this nutrient-dense seaweed, and it's their #1 bestseller for a reason. I tried it, and ooh, baby, my skin has never felt this silky. It goes on light, not greasy, and absorbs fast. Like, I've had people compliment my skin, even just from a hug, and this is the power of this oil. It visibly firms, it makes your skin feel sculpted and smooth, and it's all clean, vegan, cruelty-free, and climate certified. No trade-offs. Get healthy, glowing skin for summer with clean vegan skin and body care from OSEA. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code DATEME at OSEAMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $50. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use code DATEME for 10% off. Oh boy, dating is hard enough, but if you've got ADHD, sometimes it feels impossible to hold down a relationship and hold it together. That's why I want to tell you about a podcast that might be right up your alley. It's called Sorry I Missed This. It's hosted by sex educator Kate Osborne, and it's all about dating, relationships, and intimacy, and through the lens of ADHD. Oh boy, and I love that because most relationship advice doesn't really factor in what it's like when your brain's all jumping around all over the place. They cover things like people pleasing makes breakups even harder, why physical touch can feel overwhelming, or why you start morphing into whoever you're dating. It's honest, it's smart, and it talks about stuff that people with ADHD have been dealing with forever, but haven't always had the language for. Even if you don't have ADHD, chances are someone you love does. And this show gives you a better understanding of what it means to be in a relationship. So, if that resonates, go check it out. To listen to Sorry I Missed This, search for Sorry I Missed This in your podcast app. That's Sorry I Missed This. You're going to feel so seen. Subscribe today. We're back. Adam, here's a question. Did you fuck a lot when you were at the Olympics in the villages?
Okay. Short answer, no.
No.
I know. But here's the thing. I really was concerned about, like, where are all the condoms? Because I was open to fucking. Okay. I was not closed off to it. But I'm like, where are all the condoms? Because I remember the games before was Rio, where they're like, we're going through 1 million condoms a day. And I'm like, how is this happening? Like, where are they? And so when you're an athlete at the Olympics, you can be like randomly drug tested like at any time. Oh. And so I was like getting ready for bed and I get this like knock at the door. It's this doping agent. They need to take me to the medical tent to get a doping test.
At night when you're going to sleep?
It's any time. You can be you can be taken for these tests at any time. So I go and I'm in the medical tent, and so you have to pee in front of somebody and do the thing. And I see this tiny little basket. And it's filled with, and it says in Korean, generic condom. This also like ruins the illusion for me because I did believe that it would be like Olympic rings and it would just be like these just amazing
Olympic branded condoms.
Yes. And so I saw this little basket and I'm like, those are the condoms. And they're like, yeah. But I don't think anybody knew where they were. But then I was like, I know how they're going through 1 million because I saw that little basket and I undid my zipper, whole basket
just
in.
Dump it right in.
Yeah. And I gave them to all my friends as like a gift.
As a little hi, hello, good luck. Here's a generic Korean condom.
Yeah. And it's a great little thank you.
Is the ice skating community incestuous? Like, meaning do people hook up with each other, date each other, have falling outs?
Totally. I never dated anybody that like skated. But yes, especially like the couples, like the dancers and the pairs, because they spend so much
time together.
And
they're spending like 8 hours together, right? So if you're training as a solo skater, you got to train with your partner.
Yes. And so there's a lot of like our reigning world dance champions, like they're married. And so like a lot of like couples within the like couples. And yes, because it's like, they're the people that you see all the time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think dating, you're married?
I am married, yeah.
And when did you get married?
I got married in 2021.
Okay. And then when did you get together?
We got together in like March or April of like 2018.
Okay. So, and then you went to the Olympics in 2018, but before that you had some notoriety, yes?
I mean, like, if you watched skating.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people do. Yeah. But did people slide into your DMs?
No.
Really?
No, I don't think I give off like sexual energy. And I think that like nobody, well, because I was also there with like, so I'm the first like openly gay Olympian like to from the United States to compete in the Winter Games because of like timing. Because my event was before. There's another one, the beautiful Gus Kenworthy, who was a freestyle skier. It still is. And he's just much hotter than I am. And so this was a huge distraction to anybody who would be looking to slide into my DMs. I just don't think I don't think people look at me and they go, so sexy.
I think there's a lot of people who are like, so sexy, yum, yum, yum. He better skate on my dick. Oh, that would hurt. But after you were in the Olympics, still no DMs? Still like people weren't throwing
I don't know what it
you?
is. I don't know what it is. I don't want to find out. I think I could take finding out. But yeah, no, not really. No.
Okay.
What do you think it is? Don't make me cry.
I would never try to make you cry. I don't know. It might be you not checking your DMs.
I was checking them pretty avidly at the time, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was like the universe is trying to send you your partner and that you didn't need to be distracted. And maybe you didn't need to be distracted from skating and whatnot.
I think that's so beautiful.
How did you meet your partner?
So I was at a competition in Finland.
Okay.
And I did what anybody would have done if they were in Europe. And I pulled up Tinder and I said, wouldn't it be just so funny if I found like a European husband?
Wouldn't that be the funniest joke of all time?
And so I, obviously I'm so focused at this competition, left, right. And we matched and we messaged like a few times back and forth. But then my event got started and he went away to vacation. So we like never met up. And so, it was what it was. And then like 2 weeks later, I saw that he liked 3 or 4 of my pictures in a row on Instagram.
Oh.
And so then I was like, I found you. Like not that he had found me.
Yeah.
So then we started like messaging back and forth. And I thought that, you know what? I'm never going to meet this guy. So why don't I just like test drive this new theory I have of why don't I just be honest?
Okay.
And so I would like ask questions and I would just answer them honestly. Like when you're like, sometimes you meet somebody new and you want to impress them and it's like, you try
to put your best foot forward. You try to be like your wittiest, your nicest and not say things. Yeah.
Yeah. You tiptoe around the lines just to see like what are their things that they're into so that like you can eventually find a common ground with them or not.
Yes.
But it's this like tiptoeing. And with this guy, I was like, why would I tiptoe around this guy? I'm never going to fucking meet him. He lives in Finland. And so we just kept going back and forth. And I think he felt the same way, that we were both just using each other as this like test flirter guy. But then we became like very close and we still hadn't met. And then he knew that I skated, but then after the Olympics, he could see that there was like a lot of like media around me. And he was like, I can't believe this is like the same guy that I've been talking to. And so we fell out of touch for like a little bit, only because I was like really busy. And I think he was trying to like find the line of like, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to pursue him now more.
Yeah, because it changes things once somebody finds out that you're in the public eye. Then you start questioning. You're like, oh, wait, maybe I don't actually know this person, or maybe they'll think I'm, pursuing them because they're in the public eye or whatever.
Right.
So
and
I get why he pulled back.
Yes. And it was like, and I was trying to find like a happy medium too of like, just like letting the dust settle a little bit. And so then we never lost touch, but we weren't like, we were talking like every day. And then we weren't talking every day. And then we like reconnected. And because we didn't really disconnect.
Yeah.
But so we start talking again, and he's like, I have friends in LA. Like, I would love to like come out there and like, visit them. He did not have friends in LA. Not a single
Not
friend.
a single soul.
No. And
Julie
I was
just like, you're my friend.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think we both knew that like, I knew that he didn't know anybody, but it was like also an easy answer. Cause like, if it didn't work out in person, he could go see LA.
Yes.
And he came out and we just like absolutely hit it off.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's
I
cute.
like that in the beginning of your relationship, you were just like putting yourself out there. In my current relationship, I feel like that's what I did, and I'm happy I did that. Also, my boyfriend got to see my true colors the other day. We were checking into a hotel, and the lady at the hotel was like, "Can I have your credit card and your ID?" A normal thing. And I said, "Thank you." And she goes, "Our systems are down. Fill this out." And I was like,
excuse me?
I was like, your systems are down.
Yeah.
I'm not employed here.
Yeah.
You have all the information there. And she was like, well, I just need you to write that down. And I was like, oh, okay, I can write that down. And then she was like, I just want to explain to you, did you not get an email that our system was down? And I was like, no, I'm writing right now, so I can't look at my phone for
I'm
emails.
working.
And then she was like, well, you just seem really upset about it. And I was like, I am. I'm pretty upset about it. And then she picked up a piece of paper and she was like, I've been writing down people's information all day. And I was like, because that's your job. I don't work here. So I don't know why you're catching an attitude with me that I caught an attitude that you don't want to do your job.
Right.
And my boyfriend was just standing back watching me interact with this lady. And then she was like, well, we upgraded your room. And I was like, oh, yay. I'm so excited you upgraded my... Okay. And then we like get to the room. The room is so disgusting. It is the Venn Hotel in DC. I think VEN or something.
I love the full...
If someone does me, I'm going to talk about you.
No, please,
because your customer service needs to...
I'm saying please, like, no, please, I own it, so yeah.
Yeah,
please.
truly. I own it. I mean, I'll talk about Air Bungee Fitness for the rest of my life. They're in Burbank, and they were rude to me one time. Anyway, so we get to the room. I hate it. It's disgusting. And I was like fuming, and my boyfriend was like, do you want coffee? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, how mad would you be if we switched hotels? And he was like, not mad. If that's something you need to do, we can do that. And I was like, good, great. And then we like go downstairs. And then I explained to him, I was like, I wouldn't have been mad if this lady had just said to me, hey, our systems are down. I can write this down. Or if you don't mind, would you mind writing your information?
Right.
Just give me the option. So the illusion that I don't work here, that I can just clock in or write my own shit down.
Right.
So then we're leaving.
Because it would have made you feel like it was your choice.
Yes.
I'm doing her a solid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course I would have written it down if it was presented to me that way.
Right.
It was just like, she literally threw my ID on the desk and was like, here, fill that out. And I was like,
yeah.
You have the information. It was just in your hand. So then we're like leaving. 5 minutes after we check in, we leave. And then the manager chases our car down. He was like, are you leaving? And I was like, yes. And he was like, what was wrong? And I said, everything. And he was like, the customer service? And I was like, yes. And he was like, the property? I was like, everything. What don't you get? Don't chase me down. And then we got to the other hotel and I was like, wee! Everything here is nicer. And he was just like, wow. And I was like, I had a moment. I'm sorry I had a moment. He was like, I don't know. She was kind of in the wrong. He was like, I see where you're coming from. He was like, I liked watching that.
You know what? That's a quality that I really admire in people who like stand up for themselves. Because I won't. I would cave.
Really?
I would be writing my information and I'd go, well, you need help with that? I would be there writing information for her. I'm a pushover. And then I would get to the room and I'd really let her have it. She wouldn't be there. to the wall.
Nah, I'm gonna let you know when you're being rude to me.
No, I wish I was more like that.
There's been so many times at the airport where I'll let somebody have it.
Who have you let have?
So many people. There was a man sitting in my seat, and I was like, "Sir, you're in my seat." And he was like, "Oh, well, the screen says C," and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, the thing above by the overhead bins that tells you what the seat is. There's a problem, a glitch on that screen, because if you look in front of you and look in front of you, you'll see that those seats are the same. So you know that you booked yourself an aisle seat and you did not book yourself a window seat, correct?" And he's like, "Well, I'm just going off the screen." I was like, "Well, I think you should go off what you booked. You know what you booked."
Damn.
And then we sat down, and then he started furiously texting. And I was like, he's texting about me, and I simply don't care. And then the flight attendant was like, "Thank you for your," not service. What did she say? "Thank you for your loyalty." "Thank you for your service on Delta." And she was like, "Thank you for being a million miler." And he was like, "A million miles? Whoa, that's why you knew where your seat was." And I said, "No, I just remember what I booked."
Read the ticket, huh? That's how you knew? That you have to fly a million miles to know where your seat is?
That blew me away. Let's see. There was another time I sprained my calf while singing Party in the USA while vacationing in Mexico.
That song is very tough on the calves.
It is. Well, I was skipping. And
of course.
Strained my calf. And I truly limped for 5 days around Mexico. And then when we were getting ready to go to the airport, I was like, I don't know if I can do a big airport with this limp and my luggage. So I was like, get myself a wheelchair, just make it easy on myself. I was with 2 friends, and they were like, "Yeah, that's probably for the best. You're not doing well." I was rapidly deteriorating. And also like just getting drunk and being like, "I can walk again." Like the next day being like, "I did worse. I did bad." So we like boarded first, get on the plane, and I was like standing, putting something on the overhead bin because I could stand. Walking was the hard part. And then these 40, 50, 60-ish people were like, "Oh, so you can walk." And I was like, "Yes, I can. I'm injured. Why are you so interested in my life? Why are you so mad that I got on this plane before you? Where are you going? To the back of the plane? Get to stepping. Go."
That's a
Get out of my
crazy
business.
thing to say to somebody performing a miracle out of a wheelchair. That's a crazy thing to say.
You just don't know what's going on with people. Like, just leave
crazy.
me alone. I couldn't believe. Where did you get married? Wait, who proposed to who?
Okay. So, beautiful cold brew, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I brewed it myself.
I love it. So what happened was, like, we were starting to talk about getting engaged and being married. But we weren't like really there yet. And I like really didn't care to be married. Because I was just, like my parents are divorced and I'm just like, it's not really important to me. That's a better way of putting it. And so we were talking about it and just figuring out what that might look like. And we spent like New Year's of like 2019 to 2020 together in here. At the studio, at Headgum Studios,
right here.
Yes. And so he goes back to Finland, and then the pandemic happens. And I always said that, like, if there's a reason to get married, like the universe will like give me a sign or give me a reason. And so if you were in the United States, you could not get into Europe. If you were in Europe, you could not get into the United States unless you were married.
Okay.
And I thought that
loophole.
like I would never want to like be separated from this person and not have a way to them. This feels like that like reason. And so when we had talked about it, we had these like conversations of like, how would we do it and how would we apply? And there's there's 2 like different ways that you can go about it, where it's like you can get married in the United States and then you apply for like all of your paperwork.
Yeah.
And then the other version of that is, and this is like the more official way of, you apply for a K-1 visa. 90-day fiance.
I love,
you know it well.
90-day fiance.
So you apply for that K-1 visa, and then, as you're well aware,
90 days.
You have 90 days, but it takes about 6 to 8 months for you to get that visa. And so while he couldn't come to the United States and I couldn't go to Europe, we thought, why don't we apply for this visa? And it's going to take, because we were kind of like putting off the real conversation of like, when would we do this? Because it would definitely be this like 6 to 8 months where we might not see each other or only see each other when I could get to Finland. And so we had been putting that off. And then when this when this pandemic happened, and I saw it as an opportunity.
An opportunity.
Yeah.
A global pandemic.
A pivot. Yeah.
An opportunity for me.
And so I said, you know what, let's apply for this. Like, let's do it. Like, we can't see each other anyway. And it really like helped change our perspective and like mindset, because it was like, at least we were waiting for something. And so when we started talking to the lawyer, she asked like when we had gotten engaged, and we were like, we're not. And so like, you know, cheekily, it's like, JP, will you marry me? Like on the phone with the lawyer. And so she's like, oh, that's cute. And so we apply for the visa. And finally, when I can get to Finland, I could go to Finland like later that year. So I did celebrate the January 6th insurrection from Europe.
Yes.
It was amazing. Amazing views from Europe.
Amazing views.
Yes. And so we decided that, you know, we were going to be based in the U.S., but I wanted us to get like rings from Finland.
Okay.
So I was like, let's do it in Finland, and we'll like get the rings. And we were like, we'll get matching ones. We were like in the jewelry store for about 2 seconds before he's like, what if I design something? I was like, I'm going to get my own thing. You get your own thing. And we decided that we would like pick a day, and that we would ask each other at the same time, so that nobody was like, he did it or you did it. So that we would be like,
we did it.
Yeah. Which does, when you say it like that, makes me want to melt and throw up.
Yeah, but that's nice for like a couple to be like, we did it.
Yeah.
We had a nice time. Sorry, I was waving at Christian Shaw, who was just in the hallway. I didn't want you to feel like I was just like like waving at you, and then I just don't acknowledge it.
No, I
was like, I feel
appreciate
psychotic.
It. No,
marriage is such an interesting thing. I was like, I don't think I want to get married. I've gone back and forth. If you listen to this podcast from the beginning, I'm like, I want to get married. I don't want to I go back and forth, but I recently officiated a wedding. I am ordained by the Universal Life Church. I can do weddings now. I ordained
Me too.
Can you?
Oh yeah, I've done 2 weddings.
Oh my God. All right, Diva, you're ahead of me. I've only done 1. But during that wedding, I was like, wait, this is beautiful. Just a public proclamation of your love for this person in front of your friends and family. And at this wedding, they were like, phones away, be here in the present moment. And it just felt so
scary.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I was like, maybe I do want to get married. And then I loved all the speeches everybody did. Like, it was just, I loved it.
We never had a wedding.
Oh, no?
No. And so, because we had 90 days to get married. So, what happened was the visa comes through. He comes to the United States, and it's like the end of 2021. And so we're trying to figure out, like, I think I live in Pasadena. And so there's a beautiful like courthouse and like city hall. And I'm like,
do you want us to bleep out where you live?
It's pretty big.
Care?
No.
Okay.
Meryl Streep lives in Pasadena. I'm doxing her.
With Martin Short?
Aren't they so
them together?
cute?
Have you seen them together?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know. Doesn't that make you believe in love?
Yes. They're so adorable together. Anyway, so you didn't have a wedding.
No. And so then when I was like looking into like, you know, booking a time at the courthouse, you need to do like 2 different trips to get married at the courthouse. You need to do like one,
where you apply for the marriage certificate and then one for the ceremony.
And so we were trying to figure out like how to do that. And then I just had the most brilliant idea of like, how do you get married fast in LA? And I found this website of like Instant Marriage LA in Encino. And it was this woman, Maria, who just does marriages from her like office. And I called about like, when did she have time to do something? And she was like, I have time tomorrow. And it was New Year's Eve. And so we got married on New Year's Eve. And I was like, this is actually perfect because 1, if you want to go out.
You can still go out. You got married in 5 minutes.
Yes. And it's like fireworks for your anniversary that you're not covering. Then if you want to stay in, it's our anniversary. Who's going to say no to stay? It's the most brilliant thing I've ever done in my life.
That is smart. Adam, do you have any advice for single people?
Nope. No, I do. I do have advice, actually. I think my advice is like being single is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, listen, I know there's this like woman that I met and she was like quite a tough lady. And she rolled her own cigarettes, no filters. This lady is tough. And she said, we come into this world alone and we leave alone. And I know that's really like dark.
That's not true.
It's true. We come in by ourselves and we leave on our own. And I think that there's like a beauty in that. And I think the beauty in it is that like, if we do this whole journey like on our own and it's our journey, we should only have people included in our lives that bring joy and enhance the journey. And so I love my husband but I'm with him because he brings like joy into my life. I don't need him and he doesn't need me, but we bring like a lot of joy to each other. So we like make our own life experience better. And I think like I always try to like check in on that to make sure that like we're still, you know, the things come up and like you get like annoyed with people when you've been with them for years. But like, it's always just making sure like, does this person still bring me joy? Because this is my experience. Yeah. And I think like if you stay, like, I think you'll find the right people, and whether that like love and the friendships of people around you, like you'll find what like love looks like for you, but love is just a small part of the whole like human experience. Yeah. It's about like connection with other people. And sometimes you find that connection that's like on a deeper level with other people, but it's your experience and you should focus on you.
I like that. I like that a lot. Is this person bringing me joy? Is this person fucking a hellscape? Yeah, like only bring joy into your life. I have a will where there's a lot of things that people need to do in it. But I can't legally enforce it because you can't do that when you make a will. And my boyfriend was like, don't you like when you die, like before you die, or like when you're thinking just randomly, don't you think it's like, he's like, how do you know that people will do what you've asked them to do? And I was like, I think I've surrounded myself with enough people who love me so much that they would know how important it was for it to get done after I'm not there, and that there is no one to check in on them to see if they did it, just for like the love of me. And I started like welling up with tears and I was like, I have such good people in my life.
Yeah. I mean, that even makes me emotional to like hear, where it's like, that's so beautiful that the people that you've surrounded yourself with would make sure that they do things for you, whether you were able to see it or not.
Because it's just one last adventure. I've just asked people to do a lot of dumb stuff.
Burn down the Venn Hotel.
Yeah, burn it down.
One last 1-star review for the bungee jump place in Burbank.
What
Bungee
is it?
World?
Air Fit Bungee Fitness?
Yes, Air Fit Bungee.
Air Fit Bungee.
What did they do to you? It sounds so dark.
So I've told this story on the podcast. I'll tell it again. I'll never stop. So I went and took a class, and they ask you how much you weigh on the thing.
Hate it already.
I don't mind it. It's a bungee cord. You got to know how much I weigh so I don't snap it or die. That's fine. Okay. So I told them 10 pounds more than I actually weigh, because I was like, I want to pad this a little bit. But I didn't tell them till I got there because I just forgot to do the little intake form. And then I had some clarifying questions because I didn't understand if this was just cardio or if it was like strength building, because the way she was doing squats was not the correct way to do a squat, and she didn't have no ass. So I was like, I have a query about this. I don't know like how we're doing these squats, and I don't know how much tension should be on it to make it effective. And then she didn't like that I had questions, and then we were doing this like run leap thing, and I was like, I don't really understand how you come back from that.
Wait, you did? I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought that you were just like bungee jump. No, you did a fitness class.
This is a fitness class.
I mean,
where you're
Nicole,
just on these.
Come on. What do you think?
Fun.
But what kind of workout? It's basically like a toddler chair.
Well,
you just bounce in.
It is cardio.
To soothe you.
It is cardio. But I was like, I also feel like you could use the bungee to get like an actually good like strength workout in. But
do you?
Yes, because once I self-adjusted, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good on my hip flexors and my my actual butt.
Okay.
And then I just like kept asking clarifying questions, and they put this really tall man like right against the wall, so he kept running against the wall, and I was like, these people don't seem to know what they're doing. And then I asked one too many questions, and she was like, well, that's why it's important not to lie about your weight. And then she like looked at me, and I was like,
what?
I was like, I'm the only fatty in this class. 1, 2, I didn't lie about my weight. I just told you later than you asked. And then I like looked at my friend. I was like, did that just happen? She was like, mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And then I asked for another adjustment, and she was like, well, we're all going to do 3 and you can do 1. Like little burpees. And I was like, okay.
Crazy.
And then when we were like, we didn't do a warm up. We did a cool down, which I'm like, I think a warm up is more important than a cool down. But who am I? I don't own Air Bungee fucking fitness.
Yet.
And I was like, I'm gonna look at my phone because maybe something nice happened on my phone. And then the owner of the place walks in. She's like, are you gonna stretch? Are you gonna do the cool down? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, it's happening over here. And I was like, okay. And then later we're in the parking lot. This lady comes over. She looks like Hatchet Face from Crybaby. And
gorgeous.
She says to me, she was like, did you have fun? I was like, no, I did not. And she was like, oh, well, we're really sorry to hear that. Why didn't you have fun? I was like, because I asked for adjustments. This lady was like very unkind about giving them to me. She's like, no, that didn't happen. If you asked for an adjustment, you would have gotten it. And I was like, oh, well, now you're just like denying my experience. You're saying that you're saying it didn't happen. And she's like, no, I'm not saying that. And I was like, why are you being so defensive? She's like, I'm not being defensive. I'm defending myself. And I was like, well, what's the root word there? You are being defensive and you are defending. Both of those can be true. And then she was like, well, da-da-da. And I was like, has no one ever criticized you? Because that's all I'm doing. It's just a criticism. There's no hard feelings. I didn't enjoy myself. I'm not coming back. And she's like, well, that's what you think. And then my friend stepped in and said something maybe a little bit more eloquently than me. And then she went, oh, I understand. And then looked at me and was like, I hope that wasn't defensive for you. And I said, lady, what's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's really intense.
Nuts. And I simply didn't understand why she couldn't just take the criticism and be like, hey, instructor, when someone asks for an adjustment, don't bring up their weight. Also, just give them the fucking adjustment. Like, it was just so nuts. And I've done other classes. Like, I pole dance, and I've asked clarifying questions. And then sometimes they go, hey, I actually don't know the adjustment for you right now. So maybe you try it this way, and if it still doesn't work, we'll try to figure it out. That's all I needed from her to be like, maybe you try it this way.
Also, it's so crazy when if it's like based on like your weight and your height and like everything, that like it's crazy to expect that everyone is going to need an adjustment.
Yes.
Because it's also not weight, like it's how much like weight are you putting into your legs or whatever.
Yes.
Everyone's gonna need it.
And there was another lady who was like fixing her little harness, and she was like, are you good? What's going on? And I was like, well, that's not how you ask. Why would you ever ask somebody, are you good? Obviously not. She's fixing it. And it blew me away as to how rude they were.
And that instructor's name was Marjorie Taylor Green.
I wish I knew her name because I would say it. But I wish nothing for them.
No, that's really awful. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
I've mentioned it so many times on this podcast.
You gotta get it out.
I just
gotta get it out
so much. Anywho, Adam, do you have anything you want to promote?
I would love to promote my podcast, Intrusive Thoughts. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts.
I love that. Also, would you date me?
I would date you. And I'll tell you why. Because a few years ago, I saw a video of you doing like a tour of your bathroom, and you're the person who taught me that Gucci makes wallpaper.
I did a tour of my bathroom?
I think, or something. I saw a clip of this show, and you forgot you were on a date with somebody.
I was on a date with somebody? I simply don't remember, but my bathroom does have Gucci wallpaper.
And I remember it vivid because I was like, I don't remember what it was for, but it was something that came across like my feed, and I stalk you. And so, and I remember seeing it and it was like, huh? I have to put the glasses. I'm like, Gucci makes wallpaper?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so stunning.
Thank you.
Do you still have do you have Gucci wallpaper in other places, or do you just do the bathroom?
It's just the bathroom.
Okay.
It's a small space. Because it was a little bit more than I'd ever
worth it.
want to spend on wallpaper.
home stuff is crazy.
It's all more expensive than you've ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
And then Gucci has this fabulous wallpaper. It's pink with white herons. I don't know. They're birds. And
I know exactly. Because now I did a deep dive on the wall. I know exactly what you're talking about because of you.
Oh, thank you.
And so
well, I got the Fucci version in curtain form. Gucci does not make curtains in that print, but I found it on Etsy. Somebody who would make me in that print curtains.
And pretty soon you'll be able to make your own if you learn how to sew.
If I learn how to sew. If I just learn how to do it. Well, Adam, we've come to the end.
We have.
If you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you can like it, you can rate it, you can subscribe, give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. If you write me something absolutely fucking filthy to whywontyoudatemepodcast@gmail.com hitting on me, I will read it. We are running low, so please send some. Hi, Nicole. I'm a fan of the podcast and listen regularly. That was tough for me to say. Here in Germany, as an immigrant from the U.S. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Here's a dirty... They didn't write that. That was me flexing my German. Here's a dirty message for you. If you allowed me to date you, I would bring you to Munich in the fall. First class for the Delta Diamond Diva, obviously. Thank you. And take you out for a nice time the German way. That means we would go for a long and fairly pointless walk, rambling around town and remarking on all the 100-year-old buildings that currently sell boutique cuckoo clocks, Nordic walking poles, and expensive lederhosen. If you get tired, we would stop for a strudel, and I would insist that you pay for half, just so you're sure to have the full Deutsches experience. Deutsches experience. Then, only if you enthusiastically consented, I would take you to a nearby beer tent kitchen where I would lovingly tenderize that sweet pussy, pounding it thin. Pounding it thin. Then I would dust your grade A meat curtain in flour, dip it in a watery egg mixture, and coat that sweet thing in breadcrumbs before I slapped it on a flat top grill. Oh my God, I'm getting cooked. When that tasty lady snack was golden brown and delicious, I'd lovingly arrange it on a plate atop some iceberg lettuce with a lemon wedge on the side, add some piping hot French fries to sop up that juicy pussy, and serve it to some enthusiastic red-faced British tourist. We'd all sigh with satisfaction and wash your pussy down with several liters of disappointingly warm, but still delicious pilsners as you mumble to yourself, Meine Muschi ist so glücklich. My pussy is so happy. And it sounds like, oh, thank you, it's phonetic. Meine Muschi ist so glücklich. Glücklich. Thank you. Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.